Well, hello there. Okay, I'm done with the Star Wars reference. So, yeah, hi. Welcome to my tier list on premium uncommon zombies. This is just my opinion. I'm going to get straight into it because of how many I've got to talk about. Yeah, it could be worse. Anyway, let's get to D tier. We're starting off with Terrify. It's just a worse version of Sumo. It gives you a card, which is fine, I guess. It's just not that great. Firefighter. Oh boy. This is the worst card in the game. Why does it bounce one of your minions? No. This is the complete opposite of Pogo. And it's so bad. It doesn't work in anything like aggro. You force pop one of your guys off, so you're going to lose aggro, you're going to lose damage. Tempo, you're going to lose tempo, you're going to lose stats. And then control, if anything, you're controlling yourself. And also, this is just so bad. I mean, the stats aren't bad, I guess, I don't know. 5 health, 4 attack, meh. It's just bad. There's no deck to use this in. It just anti-synergizes with everything. Anyway, moving on to Trash Can Zombie. Or, since I'm British, Bin Zombie. Bin Zombie. Anyway, this just... this is only really good, in front of something powerful. But even then, it's not that great because it does 2 damage. And yeah. It can get removed by, anything. So it's not that great. It also just, like I said, it doesn't do damage, well, that much anyway. So it's not like you're going to win the game with it. It's just trash. Get it? Anyway, moving on to Ra Zombie. It's too expensive. If it cost 4, maybe it'd be a little bit good. But no, it costs 6. Moving on, Foot Soldier. Again, costs too much. Maybe if it costs 3 or 4, then it'd be good. Haunting Zombie. No, just no. It has low weak stats. And to actually get this haunting ghost that actually has an ability, he needs to die. Who's going to want to kill it anyway? He only does 2 damage on turn 2. If this was a 1 cost, then I don't know. And plus, I don't think haunting zombie shouldn't even be a thing. It just should be that haunting ghost. And I mean, at least they've made a card out of it, which is good. I mean, the card itself is not good, but I'm glad they did it. But they should just make that. They should delete haunting zombie, and then just make that the new haunting zombie, if you get what I mean. And then just make it 1 cost. Then it'd be better than Nibble, I guess. I don't know. Would it be better than Nibble? Probably not. Anyway, moving on to C tier, we have Hot Dog Imp. I don't know why this is bad. It's a literal hot dog. Come on. What's not good about a hot dog? It's weak, which just dies to everything. And 2 damage isn't a lot on turn 2. 3 damage, 4 damage is a lot on turn 2. On turn 1, it's mainly 2 or 3. So, yeah, not great. Zombie Chicken. Again, it's just not that great. I mean, it's better than Hot Dog Imp, but do you really want them to just play around this easily? You put an important minion down in front of it, like a Poison Ivy, it's just going to free that lane. You don't want that, do you? Anyway, moving on to Buckethead. This just, I don't know, if this had 6 or 7 health, armoured, then it would probably do its job better. And plus, it just doesn't do that much damage on turn 4. And it can easily get removed. Camel Crossing. I mean, this card's fine. I mean, it costs 1 and it can win the game by healing your guys enough so they don't die. And if you have frenzy, it's even better. But I just don't use this at all. Yeah, it's just not the best. Maybe if I had going viral, maybe I would use this more. Moving on to Cake Explosion, or Cake Explosion. Okay. This again, it costs too much. Like, you've got blooming Electric Boogaloo's secondary ability, what's it called, Electro Bolt. That's worthy of a 2 brain trick, but obviously it's 1 because it's a superpower. This is 4. For 4. Like, could it not at least be 3? Maybe it'd be good then. It won't be the best anyway, but be a little bit better. Moving on to Orchestra Conductor. I don't know. I mean, itself is weak, and it only buffs the strength and not the health. If it's not buffing the health, then they're just going to die easily, aren't they? Your minions are going to die easily because they don't have much health. But, again, if they don't have any removal and you put this down, it can do a lot of damage. It really can. Newspaper Zombie. I don't know, it's just kind of weak. I mean, if you hit this, like, once with, I don't know, maybe Galacticactus's explosion or Deadbeard's explosion, it is just so berry blastable the next turn. I mean, because it only has 3 health. I mean, there might be a way to make this zombie good. I don't know. Hello. Don't mind that was my phone. If you heard that, anyway. I don't know if you did. Moving on to Tennis Champ. It just gets removed easily. Moving on to Cell Phone Zombie. It doesn't really do a whole lot. I mean, it gives you a card, but it's just... This should cost 1. Because look at it, it's a 1-1. It's just going to help the opponent. Next we have Pool Shark. So this looks like a good aggro card. But, again, easily removed. That's the problem with zombie cards. Like, the zombies in general. If this was the plant, it'd be way better. Because, the zombies have to play their guys first. Plants get to respond. So, I don't know. It's not a great. B flat. Unreliable. It could just destroy, I don't know, some weenie beanie. Instead of, like, I don't know, a big Brainana or Gatling P or Imagine Dragon. Like, it just, no. I would much rather use blooming Locust Swarm. Anyway, moving on to Dog Walker. So this is the opposite of Chicken. It moves to the same lane as a plant when it's played. This can be sometimes used. I mean, if you play this in turn 1, they can't really play a plant because it's just going to get killed. I mean, depending on what plant they do put down, but I mean, other than that, it's not really that great. It's meh. Surprising C tier. Moving up to B, we have Stealthy Imp. I really like this card. It does a lot of damage, but the problem is you just put something in front of it that has at least 2 damage and you've done it. He's just dead. But with Super Brains, this can sometimes be very hard to defeat, because if he's lucky enough for it to survive, if the plant doesn't have any removal, so like, say, Green Shadow, or just a plant that doesn't have any Berry Blasts, or Destroy Zombie with this amount of strength, or Shamrocket, then this is pretty good with Super Brains, because you can move it, you can, do bonus attacks, and Super Brains' ultimate ability is really good with Stealthy Imp. It's actually broken, but pretty much only with Super Brains. With Infinity, I guess you can buff it with Sugar Retreat, and what else can you do with it? I guess I should try this with Going Viral, if I ever do get Going Viral. Like, I can imagine that, like, Stealthy Imp gets buffed up, kills the plant in front of it, and then does a bonus attack with more strength. Why do I feel like that would be insanely good? I should try that. Moving on to Headstone Carver. This is really good to play on turn 1, especially with Infinity Pirates. However, there's something called Conman and Grave Robber, so it gets outclassed. But it's good. I like this card. It can really help you in tempo-wise. I mean, that is what the sneaky class is. It's a tempo class. Moving on to Flag Zombie. I really like using this as swarming, and that's it. You just play this in 2, and then all of your little 1 costs are now 0, so you can now swarm the player with loads of little 1 costs, like Con Men and Grave Robbers and Chimney Sweep. I don't know why you... No. Unlifes. Snorkel and Amphibious, I guess. That's even good. What other 1 costs are they? I think that's it, really. They're the only really good ones to play that are on here anyway. Other than that, it's meh. It kind of does die easily, though, because it gets targeted. So, yeah, it's fine. Moving on to Arm Wrestler. This is a fine card. You can't play anything in front of it, otherwise you're just going to buff itself, unless it is able to kill the Arm Wrestler. I like to use this a lot with Sumo. So on turn 2, you play Sumo, the plant plays something else, and then you move that plant in front of Arm Wrestler, and then it buffs itself, and hopefully it doesn't die. It's a fine thing to do. I mean, maybe we're going viral will be better. Maybe. Who knows. Moving on to Conga. I don't know why I kind of like this card. Like, the 1 damage on turn 2 can sometimes save you. Like, if they've got Split Pea or Wildberry or any really annoying card that has 1 health, it's just going to die, which is pretty good against aggro plant decks with Captain Combustible. Yeah, you need, if you want a deck that, is good at defeating Captain Combustible, probably run Conga, because he's probably going to have Split Peas and Fireweed. It's not even a good card anyway, but you can just end up killing it because of the Hot Lava, which ends up killing it. I don't know why. I don't know how that card's good. I don't get it. Fire Pea's better. Mountain Climbers up next. You see, this card, it does cost a lot, but it does do a lot of damage, I guess. Well, for 4, not really. But, I don't know. It's not the best. Anyway, it's not even that good to use with sports, but I'll tell you what is kind of good to use with sports, Brain Vendor. So I use this with sports to swarm the player with loads of these little guys, and then put in a team mascot, and if the plant player can't answer it, then that's a lot of damage the next turn and the turn after, and all that stuff. I mainly use this, however, with Bad Moon Rising, as you just play this in a... What's it called? This environment. I forgot the name of the environment. What's the name? What is the name? Why can I not remember it? Come on, it's not that hard. Medular Nebula. I hate that name. Anyway, you just play this and you get pretty much 5 brains, which is really good. So, I like this card. It's pretty decent. Moving on to Nibble. So, Nibble, again, it's fine. It's not great. It doesn't do a whole lot. It can make a plant procky block, so that's fine. It does heal you for 2, which can sometimes be alright. But that's not the main use of it. But, I mean, if you've got Split Pea, this does answer Split Pea, and can weaken high damage, which can save you. But, again, it's yeah, I don't know. Snorkel Zombie. Now, I don't know why I kind of like this card. Like, if this was a sports card, it would be A tier. Because imagine using this with Smash Sports. Like, it'd be really good with the amphibious lane. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think for an amphibious card, this is decent. It's not great. I mean, amphibious cards are just trash. But this one is probably the best amphibious card in this tier list. Really do like it. Anyway, moving on to Yeti Lunchbox. So again, I guess it does what it needs to for a 1 cost. Boost your guy by 1/1. I don't know really. It's kind of just mid. I guess it's fine. I mean, it does work really well with Cat Lady. Like, you keep giving Cat Lady the Yeti Lunchbox, it's going to do lots of damage. I guess that's really the only use. Moving on to the A tier. This is where it gets good. First, we have Backyard Bounce. It's literally just Spring Bean. That's all I have to say. Unlife of the Party. Yes. I love this. This is easily the best 1-drop on the tier list. This doesn't look powerful at first, and it really isn't. But as soon as you're getting all your little guys down, like Grave Robbers, Con Men, and other things like that, this is going to grow and grow and grow. I use this with, like, every crazy hero, and it works amazingly with all of them. Especially Boogaloo and Z-Mech. For some reason, they work a lot more better, for some reason, with Unlife. I don't know. They're all good. And what I like to do so many combos with Unlife. It's just an amazing card. I might even move this to rest here, because it's such a good card. Beam Me Up. This is really good to put on tier 2 now. What this is actually is, it's basically a 2-cost zombie, but you can play it in tricks, which is amazing, because it's basically what you would want in a card. You see, now, when you have this card, you're switching the tables a little bit, because now you answer the plants. They don't know what you're going to plot, unless they steal your brains with Brain Anna. It's basically switches the tables, and I think it's really a good card because of it. I mean, this can answer a lot of really, really powerful plants, so it's pretty good. I like this card. Zombot Drone Engineer. This is like the engine to science decks. I mean, when it starts off, it procs your opponent's block, but it does grow, and this can grow to be very huge. And then with your other science guys that are being buffed, you can play Gadget Scientist, and then you're going to buff your guys even more and do a lot of damage, which is really good. But the 4 health is really what it needed. I remember when this used to have 3 back in the day when I was just ickle. But yeah, this is decent, and I think it does a lot for what it is, how much it costs. So yeah, decent. Chimney Sweep. I mean, this is probably the worst card on the A tier, but it's fine. Like, this does do a lot of damage, and it basically, when you put it on heights, it's literally just a 2-cost. If we're working on the assumption that a 2-cost can be a 3/2, this grows to a 3/2, so technically it is. I'm sorry, I had to use that word. You see the word technically, it just you don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it's fine. It's only useful in 1 lane, so I would only want like 2 of these in a deck. Probably even 1, to be honest. 1 might be a little bit misjudging it. Maybe 2. Loudmouth. This is fine. Again, I mean, it is a dancing zombie, so I like to use this with Boogaloo's dance. You can use this with what's his name? Aerobics instructor. It's a really good combo. You can buff your aerobics instructor so he doesn't die, and then it's just going to buff the loudmouth, so it's now a 3-1. And if you play more loudmouth, then you can just buff each other, and then look at that. Opponent has 0 health. So it's fine card. It works in like any deck you put it in. So it's fine. It can proc your block. Well, not your block, but the opponent's block, which can sometimes be bad, but sometimes be good. And finally, S for Swashbuckler Zombie. This is the best uncommon in the game, by far. I mean, what this does is just unbelievable. I'll actually tell you the history of this card. So, when it was first added, and all these premium cards were added, this card was not good at all. It'd be like D or C, because this just didn't do anything. What are you going to combine this with? Oh, blooming Zombot Plankwalker and Imp Commander. What else are you going to pair up with it? This is like the only pirate on this tier list, except from Stealthy Imp, which Stealthy Imp isn't that great with Swashbuckler either, because it doesn't get killed like the next turn anyway. So it used to be bad, but then something happened. A certain card called Flameface got added, and that really made pirates better. And then we got Con Man, we got Monkey Pirate, we got Grave Robber, and then all of a sudden this card becomes one of the best cards in the game. Like, the amount of, tempo this gives you if you play it right is ridiculous. It can just make you unstoppable. It can make all of your pirates just incredibly hard to defeat. And then you've got Flameface, which is really good to combine with this card to do strike through damage, and then it's buffing all of your guys, and then you're just getting blooming double digits with your guys if you're really, really, really lucky. Although, to be honest, the plant player's probably dead 5 times before that. So yeah, I think this is the best card on this tier list, and why I think Infinity is the best pirate hero is because of Swashbuckler and other cards as well, like Pogo, Flameface, and just the 2 classes he holds for me are just the 2 best classes put together. It makes just an amazing, incredibly hero, which just is incredible. If you've not seen my hero tier list, I put him in S tier because he's amazing. Anyway, that's going to be it for this tier list, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.